Hey friends, this is Steven. Welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a new TRD hat and a new vehicle introduction coming up right now. Okay friends, here it is. It is a 2008 Highlander. Just kidding. It looks like that. It's very unassuming. This is a 2009 Toyota Land Cruiser. I picked this up just last week. In the 80s, my family had a Land Cruiser, an 1985 FJ60. Since then, we've kind of been a Toyota family, if you haven't guessed, if you watch this channel. But I've always wanted a Land Cruiser, and I was looking to get a Land Cruiser 100 series, the late model, the 05 and 06 with the VVTi engine. And what I found is, by the time you pay the premium for the 100 series, you can get into an early 200 series. This being the Land Cruiser, it shares the same platform with its Lexus cousin, the LX570, which is actually, these days, a little bit cheaper, and you can find more of the LX570s. But I am a Land Cruiser guy, so I had to keep my eye out for the Land Cruiser. This has 171,000 miles and drives like a brand new car. No squeaks, no rattles. It drives better than some brand new cars. Let's open up the door so you guys can take a peek at the interior. And this door has some heft. I mean, when you shut the door on this thing, listen to that. We'll do that one more time. And not just that door, all the doors. This vehicle's, what, 15 years old? 170,000 miles? And let's take a peek at the interior. Soft touch here, real leather, not new Lux. This is actually pretty soft. Like, I've got a 2020 Tundra, and it is much cheaper materials than this. Like, I just have to say, like, this seat, that seat, 170,000 miles. And look at it. These are just built different. They just are. Land Cruiser's party trick right here, the cool box. Little refrigerator, can't wait to use that on a road trip. Looking forward to it. It's got this little small section here. Cup holders. Early version of crawl control. Haven't tried that out. I'll have to try it out. And then heated seats. The later models had perforated leather seats with the fans, but I've got those in my Tundra, and I had those back in the day when I had an IS350, and they work okay, but it wasn't a big loss not to have those in this early 200. Drivetrain, 5.7 liter 3UR. They don't call it the iForce on the ones built in Japan. They just call it the 3UR 5.7. 6-speed transmission, just like the Tundra. It drives different though. It's definitely a different driving vehicle, even though it has, I mean, on paper, the same transmission and engine as the Tundra. Again, this interior, 171,000 miles. Everything works. It's got the one option you could get in the US, which is the rear seat entertainment. That all works. Land Cruisers, majority of the 200s have the third row seats. Those are in great condition. You can see the little divots there from the seat belts. They spend most of their lives folded up in the back. And gotta love these seats. We've got a 4Runner in the family, and these ones slide forward and back and tilt. It's quite nice. But all in really, really good shape. So I got this, I've got a over the mountain commute. You know, and I love the full-time four-wheel drive system. We have the same, well, a similar Toyota four-wheel drive system in our 4th gen 4Runner, which you haven't seen on the channel yet. But it's got the full-time four-wheel drive, Torsen center diff, which is just my favorite. It's Land Cruiser, another Land Cruiser trick. the tailgate. So they got rid of that with the 300 series. No more is the tailgate, which has kind of been a Land Cruiser staple. And here you can see the third row seats. Nothing too fancy here. Just pull this guy. It's hard to do one-handed, of course. That goes forward, up and like that. And the seat belts tuck in nice and neat. Even the little belt has a little holder for that. So overall, just like, I'm amazed at the quality of the interior on this thing for the mileage. I don't know if that's unique to this one, or I did look at a few and they all seem to hold up actually really, really well. It's got a few dings and scratches, but I kind of like that about it. I didn't want one I had to worry too much about. I didn't want to have one where I was the first one to put a ding or scratch in it. I wanted one where I could take it over the mountain, get it dirty, and not worry about it. Speaking of taking it over the mountain, it did come with these Les Schwab open range all-terrains. Wasn't sure of them at first. I haven't really heard of them. I'm a Toyo tire guy, so I really like the AT3s. These are made by Mazama, I guess. But the important thing is they do have the triple peak mountain snowflake symbol there, so you can just head over the mountain with these, and I'll give them a shot. These are one step up from what these come with factory. So these actually come with like I think a 285 60 18. These are 18-inch wheels. These are 275s, so a little narrower, but like 1 inch taller. So these come with like I think a 31 and a half. I think these are either 32s or 32 and a half, so I haven't really looked. But yeah, legendary 5.7 6-speed auto, full-time 4-wheel drive, torsion center diff, crawl control, all the fun stuff from 2008. Give you a peek at the engine here real quick. Quick peek at the engine, not much to see here. Doesn't have quite the covers that the LX has, so you can kind of get in there and see. But everything in the Land Cruiser is just solid. Same 5.7 that you get in the Tundra and Sequoia on the last gen, not the new turbo stuff, but slightly different, built in Japan. I actually noticed the heads are a little bit different. My Tundra doesn't have this lip right here, so yeah, the Japan one is a little bit different. And the other thing I noticed is look at the size of the brake reservoir. That is huge compared to my Tundra. So don't know why, but it is. Everything is very well solid on these, very well built. The hood, perfect shape. The sound deadening is perfect shape. No rips, no tears, no signs of any mice being in there. Everything just really well sorted. It does need the battery clamp cover jammer and a couple of these little push pins, but that's it. Overall, just exactly what I was looking for. Not a vehicle that I would be prepared to buy brand new. These even now go for 80,000 used. I don't know what the original sticker was, maybe 85 on like the 2021s. The Heritage editions are even more. Plan is for the rear to pull those third row seats out for the time being and get the Heritage all-weather floor mat, which will cover up those, at least the bottom holes that are left when you pull those seats out. But that's it, short and sweet, vehicle introduction. Some of my favorite videos to do. If you like these, please leave comments, please subscribe. We've got some more videos on this coming up. For all my Airstream fans, potential tow vehicle. I know I joked about that with the 1994 Toyota pickup, but you know, you are looking at the 5.7 with the 6-speed. Same on paper platform as the Tundra. This does not have, you know, some of the advantages the Tundra has, such as the Tundra's longer wheelbase, definitely better for towing. Tundra has 430 gears and a heavier duty, at least in my opinion, rear axle. And factory integrated brake controller, but those are all, the brake controller can be added. This does not have a tow haul mode, but it does have a power mode. So yeah, one thing I will use this for is maneuvering the camper, because I have a steep driveway And I like to put my Tundra in 4 low, but the problem is it doesn't have a center diff, so it'll bind up when you make sharp turns. In this, torsion center, so I can just hook the camper up this and really maneuver it around super easy in 4 low without putting any strain on the vehicle in low range. And the shorter wheelbase will make it much more maneuverable. So pluses and minuses to everything, but I'm definitely curious how this will tow the camper. Obviously, got to get a brake controller in there if I'm going to do any of that fun stuff. But more content to come. Super stoked on this thing, and I have you guys follow along on the journey. Thanks so much for tuning in. Take care.